All right, welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. How y'all on Saturday evening? As you can see, we got a little bit of growth here to work with. Now, I was going to wait and do this shave later, but I decided to go ahead and do it. One, because I'm, basically bored. And if you ever check a rag out like that, make sure it's still good by giving it the old sniff test. Yeah, I didn't even think about being on camera. But that's okay. But anyway, little Cafe Bustelo, percolated Cafe Bustelo again. So anyway, had a question the other day. One of the newer subscribers was talking about he had just gotten, I don't know if he just got, did you just get the 1914 or did you just get a gym style razor? But either way, it doesn't matter. I was wondering how to use it, and I told him I'd do another how-to video. So for your folks who've seen this a million times, you don't want to watch it, that's fine. This is a how-to SC razor video. Now we're going to use a British-made 1912, this little beauty right here. Look how beautiful that is right there. That is a very, very beautiful razor. It's got that handle on it. Love this set. It's got a nice little bait-like box that it goes in. And it's one of the few razors that have been kept with their box. I tend to misplace and then I don't remember which one goes back in which box. That definitely happens. So, first question was, what blades to use? And everybody knows, or most people know, I guess, that I prefer carbon steel blades. I buy these local. These are treats. They're carbon steel, and there's a grocery store across town I can pick them up, and there's a convenience store that's a little ways away up where I used to work out in the plants, which since I'm going back to work in the plants, I may be close enough to swing by there every once in a while. And I could pick them up there. You can get them in the 5-pack like this, or you get them in the 10 in the vault. So anyway, that's what I prefer. You can also get the stainless steel gem. They say gem on the front and in the back says stainless steel. A lot of people like those. Probably they last longer. I never really keep up with it. I think the first couple of shaves are not as smooth with a stainless as they are on carbon steel, and I just like carbon steel because to me it's more traditional. So that's how I see it. So anyway, let's see. We got a blade here that's got a few shaves on it. Tell you what, let's just get a new blade. I've got blades. So we'll just get a new blade. There is absolutely nothing to load in a blade. You open the top, depending on which razor you have. That some of them open different ways, but you open the top, put the blade in. Be sure that the front of the corners are under the blade rest. Now, I have razors that have the safety bar cut off on them, so the ends aren't protected, and you can still shave with them without getting cut. And but if you have, blade stops, why not use them? This one has really nice, as you can see there, has some really nice blade stops and they're in really good shape. This is actually a very nice razor, made in England, like I said. So because we're doing that, let's use some Boots, which is aftershave with a shave stick from Boots Pharmacy. There in that one came from London, and then we'll use the Freshwood aftershave. Now I don't have a brush. I think I said this the other day when I did a British shave. I don't have a brush that's from England. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a Smog. I've been using the 1305, so we're going to break out the 208. I don't think they make these anymore. I think it's been a little while since they have made them. And one I got from a shave buddy that used to be on Toast. That's TOST3.com, which is a very quiet place these days. And it's my fault. It really is. I understand. I've taken blame for it. It was a lot more active, and then I got busy and wasn't going over, and then there was some inactive periods where it was closed down for a few days. The last time it was closed down for a week or so. A lot of people got really mad about that. Sorry. And, it was always meant to be a little place anyway. Some people offered to send some money to help out, but actually that's, interesting. Hold on just one second. All right, so we're back. So the shave stick there that I had picked up is actually one that hadn't been opened, and I don't want to open a new one when I've got one that hasn't been used yet. So anyway, here we are continuing on with the Boots shave stick. Now, I like Boots. It's got an interesting scent to it. I've got one of the shave bowls around, and then I've got several of the shave sticks. Not sure. I think at one time you couldn't get the shave bowls anymore. It was just shave sticks. I don't even know if you can get those these days. I haven't looked lately, to be very honest. That is also the first time I've used the pause function in a video and then come back to the video. I normally don't pause things, and I normally don't, but I wasn't sure exactly where I was going to have to go to find that shave stick. I did the other day find a bunch of my shave stuff that was still packed down. I knew it was in a suitcase, a travel bag, a travel case, but I didn't know which one it was. So I actually was able to find that the other day. So I found a bunch of stuff I was missing. Well, that's a good thing. So anyway, we're going to start out here with a shave stick. If you haven't used a shave stick before, this is how you use a shave stick. Do whatever prep you do to your face. I just wipe it off with a hot rag, warm rag, and then you go and you just wet the end of the shave stick and you rub it on your beard, and it it comes out looking something like this. Now, how much do you put on? That you've got to learn as you go along. And then we do the same way we would lathering anywhere else, and we start with a damp, not really wet, but a damp brush to start building our lather. And we face lather like gold intended. We're not afflicted around here with that bow lather thing. Only time you'll see me bow lather is when I use my scuttle to keep everything nice and warm. Which I need to do before long. I used a brush scuttle not too long ago, but I haven't really used my scuttle in a while. I need to do that. I love nice warm lather. I know there's people that cold water shave. There's a lot of people around that do a lot of weird things. But anyway, we face lather here. Alrighty, with nice warm water. Alright, well, we're going to keep building this. As you see, it builds a nice lather. Then you can adjust by how much water you add. Then you adjust your lather. It's simple. Just like bow lather. If you need a wetter lather, you add more water. If you need a thinner lather, you add more water. If you want to keep it thicker, you add less water. And you build up the lather on your brush so that you can have it for your, second pass or whatever you do. I do 2 lather passes, and I finish up with a witch hazel pass, because I like using witch hazel on my finishing touch as opposed to another lather pass. I think it's better. I think I can feel better where I might need to touch up. And then it also helps if there's any irritation or anything like that. So with all of these razors, pretty much the cap is going to be your angle. I mean, you don't run them, the Micromatics, or Jim said to run flat. That's flat on the face. That's pretty much what I do. These is pretty much the same. And what you're working for is consistent pressure and angle. And you just have to learn those motor skills as you go along. That's known as technique. Another thing you need to know is your beard growth. Now, I need to go north to south, as they call it, on the cheeks. I need to go north to south right under the bottom of my goatee, but down on my neck, it's south to north. That way I'm not going against the grain. Personally, I don't ever want to go against the grain. There are people that do it and they say it helps them out. Me, I can do that, get a really close shave, a couple hours later, back to sandpaper. So it's really, it's risking irritation to me, and it's really not worth it. So I'm going to turn sideways here so you can see that we're pretty much using the cap as our angle. And that's hard to do looking in a camera, by the way. Harder than you might think it is. It's not like looking in a mirror, because there's a delay between what you see in the camera and what's happening. Same thing on the other side. We're going to go down. Now, this is a nice, neat blade. Remember, you're stretching. It's important you stretch. I've started noticing lately I've got wrinkles that I have to stretch extra far. And right there is one of them. So I just got it without nicking myself this time, which is a great thing. Alright, so I go north to south right under there again, as you can see, using the head as the angle. And that's going to be true whether you're using a 1912, whether you're using a 1914, whether you're using one of the old lather catchers, whatever you're using, that's going to be true. Because you're pretty well going to use the head, the lather catcher, the heavy flat top, G-bar, all of those. All that stuff, contours, everything, you're pretty much going to use the cap as your guide as to your angle. And as far as pressure goes, you pretty much let the razor do the work. You don't want to be pressing a lot and doing all that. Remember, you might not get everything first first run, that's okay. Although there are people that they make their first pass across the grain or with the grain and they're done. That's all they want. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I like a tradition, and used to probably, I think say I like a traditional shave, but then I have to add, probably used to, that one pass shave was all that was there. That was probably what happened. But I use a 3-pass technique, and it's my routine, so I do it the same way, pretty much whatever razor I'm using, except for open blades. Open blades, I just do a 2-pass shave. I need to do an open blade shave. I hadn't done that in a while. Wonder if I still can. Bet I can. But anyway, so I do a three-pass shave. I do 2 lather passes, one with the grain, one across the grain. I don't go against the grain at all. And then I do a touch-up, which is kind of a mix of everything, with witch hazel. Now, a lot of times the touch-up pass isn't necessarily needed, but the whole point is that we're shaving, right? So we'll shave and everything will be fine. We're going to come across here at a good angle. Make sure we get under that ear back here. That's one of the places I usually do need to do a little touch-up. And across the flabbiness here on my neck. I like to do a touch-up there also. Now, if your angle gets off, then you'll start seeing that you're leaving lather. You should not leave lather behind if your technique is good, because the blade is running on your skin. Open comb razor, one of the biggest kicks I ever got was this dude talking about how he liked the tracks they left in his skin. Told him to put a blade in next time and he could actually shave with it. Because if your open comb razors are leaving tracks, you're not shaving. But if you're running the blade down next to the skin, you're not going to have those tracks. All right. So that's the 2 lather passes. Now I'm going to clean this up and dry off before I put the witch hazel on. You don't have to. It's just what I do. A lot of times. Sometimes I don't even do that. Sometimes I just throw the witch hazel on. Sometimes I get to talking and I realize I haven't even really done it across the grain, that everything was with the grain or whatever, and it's just like, oh well, I leave it alone. It's just a shave. All right, so you can see in those 2 passes how we've cleaned everything up. Really, really, really nice. For me, the cheeks are always smoother than the neck. I don't go for BBS, baby butt smooth. I go for a dang fine shave, DFS. Like I said, I can get the baby butt. I can go against the grain. I can do whatever. I've got good technique. But if you do that, to me, you're risking irritation. And then in a couple of hours, I'm going to be right back filling the sandpaper. Now, I know Dave in Kentucky has told me that it's worth it to him, because if he does the extra steps and does the against the grain, that with him, it holds him for 10 or 12 hours or something like that. So, for him, it's worth it. For me, it's not. Oh, if you ever have problems with your jawline, remember, you can always pull that skin up and you can shave it on a flat spot and then let it go, and it goes back where it's supposed to. So I'm starting to get old guy skin. All this old flabbiness going on. So I guess stretching is getting to be more of a big deal. Go ahead and dress up right around my goatee there. If you don't have a goatee or anything. Now, if you have a mustache, there's a couple of different ways to go about it. You can start in the middle, or you can go, I think actually what Jim recommended was going from the end towards the nose. I don't really like that whole going up thing. You can cut your lip, you can cut your nose. There's a lot of things you can do, especially with an open blade. They call that the fool's pass with an open blade. And we just don't need anything to do with that. Anyway, let's do another cleanup. Look at there. That's what we got. So, that's how I use a single edge razor, Jim style. Using the injector razors is a little bit different, because you can't really use the head, I don't think, to figure the angle. You just got, it's like using a double edge. You just have to know those 2-sided things. You just kind of have to know what the angle's like, and you feel it as you go. You adjust up and down as you go until it's cutting the way you want it to, and everything works good. So we have some Boots aftershave, which I'm starting to run low on. If anybody in England wants to send me some, I would not say no. This is the Freshwood aftershave. I also have some Persona, which is actually a lot nicer aftershave. I use it when I want something a little more fancy. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Freshwood. It's a really nice scent. It's a different scent from the Boots soap. It's Boots also, but it's different scent from the soap. And the soap has got kind of a, what did the Eagles call it? The warm smell of fajitas? Not fajitas, more like falitas or something. But anyway, I had some fajitas the other day at the Mexican place that were really good. But anyway, that's not what they were talking about. And to me, that's kind of what the Boots have a resemblance to. It might not be exactly that, but it's what it has a resemblance to. So we're going to rinse our old brush out here. And I take it out there, rinse it, and I dry it off. Hey, Fuzzy, you're squishing the brush. And yeah, I do them all that way. I mean, come on, it's hair. I squish it and run them around, and I don't just paint on my face. I go swirly all over the place. And amazingly enough, my brushes have lasted a long time. Well, the company says you shouldn't do that. Well, you know, some of these companies are just trying to, I don't know. Don't know how to explain it, but they're, coffee cup slip. Ooh, can't have that. Oh, by the way, look at that. It's my Old Spice, big Old Spice mug from the 80s. Really, really, really good. So anyway, that's today's shave. I probably left a few thoughts unfinished, but that's the way it goes. But that's how I use a single edge razor. Like I said, when you start using, when you get down to the, the injector razor stuff, it's a little bit different. It's a lot more like using a modern plastic garbage thingy, but still a lot more classy. But anyway, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope that helped you out. And for the folks that have seen that a million times, sorry for boring you to death, but that kind of stuff, comes along sometimes. Got to help the newer people out and keep the thing going. Oh, another thing. Let's do this while we're at it. So open the top back up, take the blade out by the sides. And as you see, it's going to need some rinsing. Now, a carbon steel blade, you have to rinse and dry after every shave or it will rust. And it will rust bad enough that you can't use it again. So hold it by the spine, nice thick back spine. It's only got one sharp edge. That's where we get welcome to the sharp side. Get it? And what we're going to do is we're just going to take a towel and we're going to hold it and we're going to wipe it both ways with the towel. And then you have a nice dried off blade ready to go the next time. Now I don't have kids running around here or anybody to worry about, so I keep blades out, open blades out on top of my, I've got a pipe rack, a round pipe rack that holds 10 razors, and right now it's packed with probably 15 or more piled up on my thing here. But I just put my razor blades up on top and let them dry out and everything. So since I don't have kids, that works out. If you have kids, it may not work so good for you. Of course, I'm also armed walking around too, so with kids that might not be so good either. But anyway, there you go. So that's what we got today. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, hope that helped you out. Hope you learned a few things. If you had more questions, anybody has any more questions, or you want to see a shave, I am going to find my Contour 2 and do that shave that was requested. But I got to dig that Contour 2 up. I'm not 100% sure right this second where it is. All right. Happy shaves to you.